Before I begin, I just want to thank the ASL interpreters here, Rodney and Jenna, for making our space more accessible. Thank you. While watching the second Harry Potter, which I find to be the most terrifying because who is comforted by the idea of snakes in the wall, I learned about phoenixes for the first time. I learned that these birds are that which are cyclically reborn, who engage in a regular process of decomposition and rebirth. In a burst of flames, they are melted to their ashes, no longer recognizable or identifiable to those around them. But within time, they are brought back to life again, renewed by a kind of spirit that persists, demanding that they continue to live their life. This bird may be a mythical one, but nothing about their practices seems mythical. The Jesuits have a saying with which we are all too familiar: go forth and set the world on fire. But here's the thing: what good are we doing if we set a world we don't know on fire? What good are we doing if, in our rage and anger, youthful passion and energy, we set on fire the thing we are told to focus on without any challenge or reflection? An aimless fire set on a world we are told to change does less than we think it does. In a recent presentation at Georgetown, Bruno Diaz answered the question of why someone comes to Georgetown University in the following way. You are here, he said, to steal fire. You are here to steal fire. And that seems exactly right. We cannot set this world on fire if we do not first have that fire built within us. And even more so, we must come to places like Georgetown, institutions that frustrate us, challenge us, make us reflect, and dig deeply at the core of who we are and who we want to be to find that fire. Georgetown has a fire that has been burning longer than we can imagine, but it is still ours. It is ours to steal, it is ours to have, it is ours to own. And once we have it, we must discern where and how we want to direct it. It need not be at something so ambiguous and overwhelming as the entirety of the world itself. What we must metaphorically set on fire are the places we find ourselves in. We must take the very fire we have gained from Georgetown and turn it back on itself. That is how the fire builds, the potential to energize others is gained, and how the world around us can be reborn. 10 years ago, a group of students with the fire wedged so deeply in the crevice of what they needed and what they wanted used everything they had to demand from their own community a place where they felt like they could belong, exist, and live. From this fire came the establishment of the LGBTQ Resource Center on campus. This is what it means to be melted to ashes, no longer recognizable or identifiable to those around you, and then brought back to life again, renewed by a kind of spirit that persists. These students made their own institution a phoenix, and they unto themselves were the fire that broke it down and built it up again. This is what we must carry forward. We must carry forward the willingness to steal what has always been ours, the fire that moves us forward, that keeps us burning, that renews us. And once we have it, and we do, we must intentionally use it on what we know. It is only through this process of decomposition and rebirth, through breaking something down again only to build it up again, that we find a newness that gives us new life and new worlds. We must be committed to making phoenixes in our own lives, whether that be our schools, our workplaces, our spaces we call home, or our broader communities. We must not only break them down, we must be there to build them up again, too. Our fire only has meaning when it is met with rebirth. We must insist that life keeps on going in ways now recognizable and identifiable to us. And the queer fire that we have, it is the most beautiful, it is the most powerful, and it is what will save this world. So I'm not telling you to go forth and set the world on fire. I'm asking of you to go forth and be the very fire that you are, steal more of it when it was always meant to be yours, and let it give new life to the places around you. Our power is as far as a thing from a myth. Thank you.